Hey, thanks for coming back. I've been trying to experiment with different stories, so it took me a while to come up with a new one. I hope you enjoy it. I've been hearing knocks on my door. What gets me is that my closest neighbor is about 2 miles away. I answer my door and no one's there. This happens at random throughout the day. It was really annoying me, so I decided to set up a cheap security camera to watch the front door. The video quality is admittedly not the best. I just really wanted to see who was doing it. My best guess were kids playing pranks, or maybe not. I remember that there were no kids in this area. After taking a break from my woodworking project, I went to check on the camera. It was around 2 p.m. and I haven't heard a single knock yet, which was kinda odd. I wanted to finish this order, so I went back to my workshop. But I suddenly hear a knock. It was much softer compared to the ones I've been hearing for about a week. I checked the camera feed and there were 2 people by my door. The quality is terrible, so I really could not make sense of who they were. So I just went to answer my door. Good afternoon, Greg. Oh, good afternoon, Sheriff. What brings you here? Well, Deputy Howard and I just wanted to check on you. Your neighbors called the station multiple times. Say they hear some weird sounds throughout the day. Have you heard anything out of the ordinary? No, officer, I have not. But come in and tell me more about the sounds they mentioned. I can offer you tea or soda. It's been really hot lately and you guys look like you could use a drink. We'll have to turn that down. We'll drop by Eddie's place as well. But just call in if you hear something strange out here, okay? Yeah, of course, I'll report it in if I hear anything. Thanks for checking in. I need to finish this piece I'm working on, so I went straight to my workshop. But it felt that I've forgotten something. Oh, right. I went back to check the camera feed and there were still people in front of my door. I heard the sheriff's car drive off, so it can't be them. The camera might just be crapping out on me, so I just continued working. Around 8 p.m., I stopped working for the day. I was having my dinner when I ran to check and see the camera feed, and there was someone by the door. The terrible camera quality and the dark didn't help. I could barely see anything. After opening my door, I stopped to give the area a thorough look. There were no cars or people nearby. I was still by the door when I heard that. But there was no one there. I fumbled my way to check the camera feed. Nothing. Just an open door. I strained my eyes looking at the screen. It was a good minute when I heard faint laughing from a distance. I looked outside my window, and no one was outside. But then, a hand slowly emerged from the open door. I don't know whose it was, but I wouldn't wait to find out. Before I could even move, I was already by the door, and I closed it shut. Shoot, the station isn't picking up. I checked the camera and there was nothing there. Looks like help isn't coming. So I spent the rest of the night camped in front of my monitor, checking if there were any signs of anyone nearby. The night rolled in, slow but quiet. Not a single knock. When the sun came out, I didn't let my guard down. I ran through my stock of energy drink just to make sure I'm awake. But my heart is beating so fast. I couldn't even see my monitor at this point. I was too sleepy, and my eyes are watery. All I could do was stare blankly at my screen. Before I completely dozed off, I tried calling the station again. Nothing. Dialed 911 too. No good. I can't stay here for another day like this. So I quickly ran to my truck and drove off. Eddie was the closest neighbor I had. When I got there, his front door was wide open. Didn't want to waste my time, so I went directly to the station. When I got there, the door was wide open too. No one was in the lobby. But there was this certain smell around the place. I called out for Deputy Harold. No answer. I slowly walked to the sheriff's office. I saw him, sitting in his chair. "Sheriff! Hey, John!" He was dead. In my panic, I found myself in the break room. Deputy Howard was lying face down with a couple of officers and a civilian. I lost my balance from the shock and disgust. I ran for my truck and drove off right away. The next town isn't that far out. I tried calling 911 again. Someone finally answered. 911. What's your emergency? My neighbor David called me at 3 a.m. He was speaking in a hushed voice, almost like a whisper. "Come to the window," he said. "Look at my driveway." "What, David? It's 3 a.m. for No. Just please check it." So I opened my blinds and I saw something in his front yard. It was a box. Just a plain looking box. Did you see who left it?" "No," David whispered. I heard a heavy thud on my porch. When I opened the door, it was already there. I kicked it off the porch and into the yard. But it's closer now. "What do you mean?" I know this is going to sound insane, but every time I stop looking at it, it moves closer, I think. "You're sleep deprived, man. It's just a box." No. Watch it. Keep your eyes on it. Don't look away. I'm going to run down my driveway and throw it into the street. Just don't blink, okay? Through the glass, I stared at the box. David walked out his front door, holding a flashlight. He kept his eyes locked on the box, walking sideways toward it. He reached down, grabbed the corner of the box, and threw it. It didn't slide, it fell over, like a solid block of concrete. David scrambled back to his porch. He looked up my window and gave me a thumbs up. Okay, so what now? When I opened my eyes, the box was upright again, and David was gone. The flashlight he had been holding was lying on the porch. The box was sitting exactly where David had been standing a second ago. I never saw David again. His family looked everywhere for him. They put up missing person flyers all over town, knocked on doors, even offered a reward for any info. Weeks turned into months. People stopped talking about him. Life moved on, and I tried to do the same. It took me almost 2 years before I stopped checking his driveway every time I looked out my window. Then one morning around 3 a.m., my phone was ringing. I reached out for it without thinking. Hello? Hey. It was David. He was speaking in his hushed voice. I need you to do me a favor. Come to the window. Look at my driveway. Every town has that one story, the one that everyone knows. A story your parents tell you when you're too young to question it. Ours was about this one old tunnel. If you walk through it alone after dark and you pass by another person, they ask you one of 3 questions. Everyone in town knew the answers. My mom made sure I memorized them before I was even 10. Her parents did the same with her. Every family did. The questions weren't difficult. In fact, they were so simple. And as far as everyone knew, nobody had ever answered it incorrectly. Which also meant nobody knew what would happen if someone got it wrong. I was on my usual way home when it suddenly started pouring, and the underpass was the quickest way to come back to my apartment. So I took the shortcut that I don't normally take. The tunnel wasn't creepy at all. Despite being one of the oldest structures in the town, it was well kept. It looked like the safest place in town, to be honest. Well lit, fresh paint, and security cameras were installed. About halfway through, I saw someone walking toward me. The local town story came to mind. We both kept walking until we were only a few feet away. They stopped, and so did I. When they were about to open their mouth, at that exact second, a train roared overhead. The tunnel shook beneath my feet. The sound drowned out everything. I knew they were asking the question. I could see their lips moving. But I couldn't hear a single word. I don't know what to do. I knew I had to answer right away. But I just don't know which question they asked. And so I guessed. I blurted out one of the three answers my mom taught me. The train passed, and the tunnel fell silent. The person looked at me for a second and just walked right past me. I didn't look back. I just ran all the way to home. By the time I got there, I convinced myself I'd gotten lucky and got right. Maybe I heard enough to the question without realizing it. And besides, it's some dumb urban legend anyway. There's no way something bad would happen. I just took a shower and went to bed. The next morning, everything went as normal. That was before when I went out. While buying some snacks, the cashier held my change a little too long, which was odd. But that's not what caught my eye. It was the way she looked at me. A mix of disgust and worry. I just shrugged it off. While on my way to work, I noticed a guy staring at me. The same way that cashier did. What is up today? My office was in the city, and it was much better there. No weird looks or whatever. After work and on my way home, the whole town was acting strangely around me. People stopped talking when I passed them by the street. Those who were driving slowed down as they passed. Heads turned as I walked on by. They were all just staring, waiting for my next move or something. It felt suffocating. I was never good at handling attention, and this was different. Like they were waiting for something. I couldn't take it anymore. I drove straight to my parents' house. And on my way there, I called my mom. I told her everything. The tunnel, the question I never heard, and the answer I gave. The way the townspeople look at me. Everything. She just listened to every word and said, "You should have called sooner." Her voice sounded genuinely worried. "Just come home, we'll figure it out." For the first time all day, I felt relieved. When I got there, my parents were waiting by the front door. My mom hugged me. Dad barely said a word. Inside, everything felt a little different. The house was quiet. And every now and then I catch my parents looking at me. Not like the townspeople. But it still made me feel a little uncomfortable. Whenever I looked back, they'd quickly look away. I might just be overthinking it. And after everything that happened, who could blame me, right? That night, I slept in my old room, or at least I tried to. I dreamt I was back in the tunnel. There was no rain, nor the sound of the train, just the silence. The same person was standing at the other end, waiting. They started walking toward me, slowly. When they stopped in front of me, he just smiled, then started to ask me something. This time, I could hear every word, but it all sounded gibberish. I tried to answer, but no words could come out. I woke up to voices downstairs. The morning sunlight was coming through the curtains. Is this whole thing finally over? It sounded like people were talking in the living room. I thought my mom called over my sister. But when I got there were a ton of people: neighbors, store owners, the cashier, and my old teachers. People from every part of the town. Everyone suddenly stopped talking when they noticed me coming down the stairs. Every single one of them was looking at me. Nobody smiled or even greeted me. The whole room fell silent. I looked around, waiting for somebody to explain what was happening. Nobody did. My dad quietly got up, walked to the front window, and opened the curtains. Outside, more, more people were standing in the yard, watching the house, watching me. If you made it this far, thank you. I'm trying to write better stories, so if you enjoyed one of these, let me know which one. Or if you have any suggestions or requests for the next story, like themes or settings, let me know. I read every comment. I'll see you in the next one.